All right, let's dive into a story that's just dripping with ambition, obsession, and a killer who's hiding where you'd least expect. We're going to break down the thriller, Courage of the Heart.
Okay, so picture this. You're in a super fancy Manhattan apartment building. You hit the call button for the elevator. The doors slide open, but there's nothing there. Just a dark, empty shaft. That terrifying moment, that's exactly where our story kicks off. So let's set the stage here. At first, this looks like a horrible, tragic accident. I mean, that's what everyone thinks, the police included.
The victim's name is Stacy Adams. She's a model, has her whole life ahead of her, and she's found dead at the bottom of an elevator shaft. The initial thought must have been some kind of crazy mechanical failure, just a terrible, terrible accident. Or so it seems.
But come on, you know it's never that simple, right? And that's the big question that drives this whole thing. Was this just a one-in-a-million freak accident? Or did someone send her into that empty shaft on purpose?
To figure out what really went down with Stacy, we've got to pull on some threads. And believe me, there's a whole tangled web of secrets and lies here. So, let's meet the key players in this very dangerous game.
Okay, so at the heart of this whole mess is our main guy, Dr. Miles Brown. He's Stacy's boyfriend, and he's a classic rags to riches story. Grew up in a tough part of Brooklyn, worked his tail off, and now he's a dentist on Fifth Avenue. I mean, he is this close to having it all.
And who's his boss? The guy who gave him this shot? That would be Dr. Preston Carrington. To the outside world, this guy has everything. Money, success, you name it. But behind closed doors, he is absolutely miserable.
And Preston isn't just miserable. He's hiding a lot. He can't stand his wife, he's secretly hitting the Jack Daniels in his office, and he's got a secret lover named Lloyd. But here's the kicker. He is desperate to get his hands on his wife's inheritance, and we're talking $25 million. Now that is a motive.
But before you feel too sorry for Preston's wife, Carly, don't. She is no victim. She's every bit as sharp and manipulative as he is. Oh, and she's not exactly faithful either. She basically uses her family's fortune as a weapon in what is a seriously toxic marriage.
So, you think Miles's life is complicated already? Well, buckle up, because we need to talk about Sharon Turner. She's his ex, and calling her obsessed is, well, it's the understatement of the century.
I mean, this is next-level stuff. Sharon is so violently jealous, she can't stand it if Miles even looks at another woman. We're talking a history of serious rage, even self-mutilation. She stalks him nonstop. And the really scary part? Her mom, Abigail, eggs her on. She thinks this is all totally fine.
Okay, so we've got all our players on the board, right? Everyone's got a secret, everyone's got something to lose. And this is where things get really interesting. Because, one accident, that could just be bad luck. But two, oh, that's not a coincidence, that's a pattern.
And guess who the second victim is? Carly Carrington, Preston's wife, found dead at the bottom of an empty elevator shaft, the exact same way as Stacy. Suddenly, the NYPD realizes they're not dealing with accidents, they're dealing with a serial killer.
So, think about it. What's the connection between a young model and the wife of a rich dentist? What do they have in common? The answer is Dr. Miles Brown. And just like that, the police have their #1 suspect. And the frame-up is just perfect. On the night of the murder, Preston and his lover make sure they're seen out in public, creating a rock-solid alibi. Meanwhile, security logs. What do they show? Miles's car pulling into Carly's building at midnight and leaving at 7 in the morning. That's the exact time she was killed. The evidence looks overwhelming. Miles is arrested.
But Miles knows he didn't do it. He's totally convinced the real killer is still walking around free. So he does something crazy. He escapes from police custody. He's got to find the real killer before they kill again.
He starts to put it together. The killer is targeting the women in his life. And that means his new love interest, Pamela, she has to be the next target. So he races to her apartment, but he has no idea, is he running to save her, or is he running right into a trap?
So let's recap. We've got a husband with a $25 million motive and a perfect alibi. We've got our hero, who's been framed so perfectly it's almost impossible to believe. So who's the real puppet master here? Who is actually pulling the strings?
The reveal comes from the one person Miles never saw coming. He confronts his ex, Sharon, and she drops this bomb. She says she hasn't been stalking him, she's been protecting him.
How? By killing any other woman he gets close to. And, yep, Pamela was supposed to be number 3.
So how in the world did they do it? It's actually kind of brilliant, in a terrifying way. Sharon and her mom, Abigail, they're tech-savvy. They hacked into the computer systems of both apartment buildings. This let them control the elevators from a laptop. So whenever they wanted, they could just open the doors to an empty shaft. It's the perfect murder weapon. No fingerprints, no witnesses.
And once that confession is out, it's like a dam breaking. The whole complicated scheme just comes crashing down. Every single secret, every lie, it all comes pouring out.
And the consequences come fast. Obviously, Sharon and her mom are arrested for the murders. But wait, there's more. The police also dig up Preston's own plot to kill his wife, which he planned with his lover, Lloyd. So, in the end, everybody goes down. Justice is served all around. And what about Miles Brown? He's finally completely exonerated. He's free. But you have to think, after everything he's been through, being framed, arrested, hunted, he can't possibly be the same person who was before all this. And that really leaves us with one last big question. I mean, this all happened because Miles was trying to build a new life, to get away from his past. But the past, and the people in it, just wouldn't let him go. It really makes you wonder, right? Can anyone ever truly escape their past?